AI should be treated as a strategic national asset, but it should not be regulated in the same way as nuclear technology. Nuclear capability is primarily based on highly controlled facilities, scarce physical resources, and primarily military risk. AI is a general purpose technology which has multiple applications in banking, agriculture, industrial sectors, while also at the same time has a military application in the form of supporting cyber operations, intelligence analysis, and military planning. However, it is important that AI should be adopted by, again, a sectorial securization where there should be low risk entry for civilian purpose application, while enhanced oversight is needed for AI systems which are deployed in healthcare or military applications. UNESCO AI guiding framework, which was adopted by 193 member states back in 2021, is a starting point for a lot of countries to ensure that AI systems are, through AI systems, a lot of countries are able to harness the relevance of it, also ensure that the systems are in line with human rights standard. The World Bank has also identified that there is need of public infrastructure related to AI, which is collectively referred to as 4 Cs: connectivity, compute, competence, and context. Again, they also encourage this thing that there should be international cooperation whereby a lot of developing countries have access to open models, data testing, and enable the conducive environment for the training of their experts and forge economic cooperations with a lot of economic firms which are operating in the developing countries. Indeed, there is this effort by several countries to create a sort of tiered system which is informal or again not declared as a tier system. Again, if we look upon the recent history, the Biden administration tried to introduce AI diffusion rule, which was primarily designed to cluster or group the entire world into 3 categories based on how the US want to allow the export of AI models or other advanced semiconductors chips to different countries. So again, the AI diffusion rule, which was supposedly supposed to be introduced by the Biden administration, was resented by the Trump administration, but they believe that the systems or again their hardware should be given to trusted foreign partners and should not be made in any way available to their adversaries. So we do see that a lot of effort have been made up to come up with such tiered system, but again the issue is that such grouping of like-minded countries or again developed countries will discourage public access of such open data or AI system to a lot of developing countries, and it will eventually become a club good for us like-minded countries which are especially allies of America.
Washington calls it sovereign AI, but sovereignty in this model is conditional. Countries can build AI ecosystem as long as they rely on American chips, models, and rules. Sovereignty granted, not exercised.
Recent research has pointed out this fact that developing countries can better negotiate about AI systems or again AI infrastructure by collectively talking as a regional grouping or as a other like-minded grouping. We have a good example in the form of African Union's continental AI strategy, which was endorsed back in 2024, where all those member countries negotiate as a continent, as a single market, rather than negotiating with developed countries in the form of single countries. So again, we can see that other groupings like ASEAN or similar groups can negotiate better as a collective group rather than focusing on individually dealing. And the important thing is for all these countries is not to just have access to foreign AI systems, but rather focus on developing their own local capacity by entering into agreements with a lot of developed countries in terms of training their own local engineers and focusing on developing their local indigenized datasets.
Since 2022, US chip restrictions have tightened repeatedly. Advanced processor banned, loopholes closed, rules rewritten, and sometimes reversed. Decision made by a single memo capable of reshaping global access overnight.
Export control regulations play a very important role in terms of regulating the AI market because it primarily targets or control 3 ingredients of AI, which is primarily the chips, the semiconductor capacity, and high computing power. So again, when we see upon this global rivalry between China and USA, we see that China, through different regulatory measures, have been trying to restrict access or limit the access to critical minerals, which are considered critical component for the production of semiconductors. On the other hand, the United States, since at least 2022, has been deploying various regulatory measures in order to limit the access of chips, advanced chips, to China and other countries which it thinks are adversaries to US interest in the AI sector.